Are you okay?
No.
Are you good?
No.
Like, do you think I'm a dick or what?
Yes. Okay, hi everybody. Thanks for coming back if you've been here before, or hi, welcome if you're new. My name's Mickey. I'm a therapist and we talk about therapist-y things on this channel. Today we're talking about something that we've talked about before, because Love is Blind has a season 2 and I am excited. Is that the wrong word? I don't know. Like sort of excited, cautiously optimistic, also like a little bit pessimistic about where this is headed. To be clear, I have not watched any of this. Like I don't even think I've seen a trailer for this. Have we seen the trailer for this? So we are fully going in blind. I have no idea what's happening here. Like, blind. I know about the premise of the show. Obviously, if you've never seen it, there's a whole season 1. We have a couple of videos about it on the channel already. Basic premise is that, for whatever reason, Nick Lachey and his wife are apparently the authority on love as deemed by Netflix, and so they put people in these weird womb-like pods where they communicate with each other through voice only. They're not able to see one another, and I guess they're discouraged from talking about what they look like as like part of an experiment to see if you can fall in love with someone without ever knowing what they look like, and like trying to fall in love with someone for who they are rather than, you know, their sort of physical appearance or like demographic features. There's lots of problematic stuff that happens on the show, and Netflix is going to release the episodes on a weekly basis, so we will just kind of revisit it as things come out and like see how it happens. Please don't expect that we're going to have episodes up or videos up every single week. I think that's probably an unrealistic expectation if I'm being honest, but I would like to talk about it in more real time than we did last time. So that's the hope. That's the video. Let's get into this stuff. I think my voice is... Remember I had all the whiteboard and my vision board over there before? Yeah. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. Honestly, I think that helped a little bit. I'm not going to lie. Movie magic. Okay, hi. Oh my god, I think that actually did really help.
It's your computer. I am going to watch too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Aaron's going to watch this with us. Normally we watch this show together as like a fun couple wind down time at nighttime. We decided to sacrifice that to make content, so...
So cute in here.
Hi.
They're back.
Hey, what's up?
So really quick before we get into it, I do want to say I am pleasantly surprised that there are 2 plus size people, or people who don't fit into the sort of like straight size body matrix, and also that there just seems to be more melanin on this season. I'm hopeful that they heard some of the criticism from like the general media last time about the show being like very white and like very bland, and took that and ran with it. But I'm also trying not to get my hopes up because I like we don't have any guarantee that those people will make it past the pods.
Guys?
Not much.
Wow.
Oh, man. It's happening now.
It's getting real now, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
We're back.
That's my
Welcome.
line.
I'm Vanessa Lachey,
I'm Nick Lachey, obviously.
obviously.
I always hear at the end of the day, like, wow, I was not expecting you to be like that.
Interesting.
I feel like it's more of a look, first impression. Blonde hair, big boobs. She's a great time, you know, it's not wifey material. And they don't give me that chance. They don't give me the chance to open up and be myself and be vulnerable. And I feel like I have so much to give, but I can't even get to that point.
Yeah.
This is the same problem I had with the original season of Love is Blind. It just really hits different to hear people who fit within these societally approved beauty standards complain about being too beautiful. It's just like a weird thing.
Weird flex.
Like, I'm sorry, I guess. I don't know. I don't want to dismiss the concerns or the frustrations with dating, and especially with like online dating and those types of things. Especially because I have been married for like my entire adult life, so it's not like I would fucking know. But I don't know. There's like some interesting privilege issues here. Like the woman who was talking about being stereotyped and sort of unfairly discriminated against because of her ethnicity and like being Asian, like that hits a little different when someone is like, you know, people just don't take me seriously because of my boobies, and like those are not the same. You know what I'm saying?
You have to make the most important decision of your life.
This is where it gets exciting.
I will say I am still very frustrated by the heteronormativity in this show and the expectation that relationships both A, have to lead to marriage, and B, only exist in this heterosexual space of like man and woman, or like masc presenting and femme presenting person. It's frustrating to me and like lacks inclusivity. I recognize that it might be a little bit more difficult to organize a situation that is more inclusive of like different sexual orientations and things like that. But I do want to point out, a lot of you talked about this in my comment section on the other Love is Blind videos, that there are dating shows that have done this, which by the way, I promise I'm working on making those videos. It's just a lot. The fact of the matter is that it is possible for a reality TV show like that to exist and for that to be a format that exists. And so if somebody else can do it, if VH1 can do it, then so can Netflix. And it's frustrating to me that we're not getting the inclusivity or the representation here, because like, is it difficult? Yes. But does Netflix have the money and the resources to make it happen? Also, yes.
Will you say I do to the person you fall in love with right here?
Sight unseen.
Or will the real world sabotage that love? And will you walk away from that person forever?
Is love truly blind?
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm pausing this every goddamn 5 seconds. This is gonna be a long video. I'm very frustrated by this, like, you know, if you don't end up getting married to this person, it's because the real world sabotaged it, or like the insinuation that maybe you're just like a vain, materialistic or like looks oriented motherfucker. Like maybe they're just not the right people, Nick. Like look at what happened with fucking Jessica and Mark. Like those people should never have fucking been together. Not by any stretch of the imagination. And look at Jessica now, good for her, living her fucking best life with her like fabulous fiance on Instagram. Like I think everyone can agree that that probably worked out for the best, you know? So like maybe, I don't know, we should stop shoehorning this expectation that it is just the natural order of life that people should get married and should seek to spend their lives together in a marriage and like in this like permanent way. Maybe that's just not for everyone, and maybe it's okay for someone to like not find this person in this experiment also.
Welcome to my pod.
This experiment interests me because, you know, I don't have boobs and a butt. So it's like, if I'm not like really dressed up, sometimes I can look like a 13-year-old boy.
This is a therapy channel, and so I'm just gonna make the plug right now. If there are insecurities that you have about yourself, or about your physical appearance, about certain aspects of your identity that are holding you back from finding a partner, or that you feel uncomfortable with dating, therapy is a great place and probably a cheaper option to air that out and to make yourself more comfortable and to feel more safe in dating. Not that dating's not hard. I don't want to take that away from anyone or invalidate the struggles with trying to find a partner, especially through online dating and app-based dating. But I do want to put it out there that therapy is an option that exists that can make a person feel a whole lot more comfortable in their own skin and help you lead with a sense of confidence so that you're more able to find a partner who fits with you and who slots into your life and kind of like works with what you're looking for.
Well, I think there's a lot of shallow people in this world.
Is that a normal question to ask people?
You have to ask all the questions up front, okay?
Right. That's not what this is about.
I have a huge Instagram following. Obviously, I have like a lot of friends. Like, it's crazy. And I think I'm really good at these pods because like with my job, I have like 5 to like 20 people in my car like at a time.
I love buying clothes for girls. Yeah, what's your size? What the fuck? Would you like working out?
Yeah, not a huge fan.
Really?
Yep.
Ooh, I get along best with individuals that do work out. How old are you?
33.
I prefer dating younger.
How old are you?
I'm 32. Do you like being on a guy's shoulders?
Yeah, you're up for the challenge. You can pick me up.
Yeah, but will I have trouble picking you up?
Actually, that comes off very superficial.
See, this is what I'm saying, where it's supposed to be about, you know, not caring about a person's appearance and blah, 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 whatever. But this person now, for like the 3rd or 4th time, has tried to screen for whether people are fat or not. Ew.
The vibe I had from you was like, it was just so easy to talk to you. And it was like, it was so smooth and so fluent. And I just liked your energy. I feed off of energy, and I feed off of like, you know, just like, I can tell from the tone of people's voices, like if they're interested or like, you know, it's their personality.
Hey, I'm all about it.
So tell me about your job. So you said you're a consultant, right?
Yeah, so I'm in consulting.
Yeah.
Not to toot my own horn, but I feel like I'm really good at it, so it's like a fit skill-wise.
Can I be honest with you?
What does that mean? I sometimes feel, because for those of you who don't know, I like fast tracked a lot of my college experience, and so I didn't really do the like adult thing of like from job to corporate job. Like I fast tracked my degree and then I started working as a therapist. So I've never had coworkers. I've never worked in an office. Like I went from working at Chipotle to being a therapist. So like I don't know what that means. What the fuck is it? Am I just out of the loop as a professional with no life experience, or does saying you work in consulting mean nothing? Please put that in the comments. Help me out, because I don't. What does that mean? That means nothing to me. Does that mean anything to you?
It means nothing to me too.
Please toot your own horn as much as possible. Like honestly, that is the most attractive thing. Like there's like a difference between like being like cocky and arrogance, but like you should be proud of what you've done, and like you should be confident in like who you are. That's so sexy to me.
I know you said you have your own real estate business, so I'm sure you do it a lot more. But yeah, for like work events or networking events, I mean, I think it's important that I have a husband that can hold his own.
Is that weird to say?
I think about at the end of this, we could have like fiancés.
Yeah.
So it's not even like, oh, my boyfriend. It's like, oh my gosh, my fiancé.
You're like, we're not gonna be boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah.
We're going straight to engagement. Like, you're my fiance. Like,
that's I mean, like the fact I could marry you or someone else.
Well, hold on, time out. Not someone else. Let's just like focus on this guy right here. You were my number one, so.
Really? You were my number one too.
Oh, look at that.
Oh my God.
This is the other part of this show that I struggle with, like on a human level. Like as a person and like as a clinician, I just love, and I think it's great that they're happy and they seem to like each other. But also, I think if I ever met a person like Shane or Shane in real life, I'd be like, oh, like I don't want to spend any time with someone who just has this like self-inflated energy. And so like I want to like them on principle, but then some of the things that come out of his mouth are like, not for me.
What do you like about Natalie?
That she liked me.
That'll help. Yeah.
I'm a words guy, dude. I was her favorite. And that's what that dude, you give me the words of that, man. I let my ego goes through the roof. Like, boom.
I feel ya.
Okay, so let's talk about this a little bit, actually, because I think this is an important moment for us to dissect when we talk about relationship health. If we are finding ourselves in a place that we're choosing partners based solely on whether they like us, I think that begs the question about whether we're doing enough self-reflection to adequately identify what our needs and wants and non-negotiables are in a relationship. It's very important if we are having conversations about marriage or long-term partnership that we be able to identify some kind of concrete aspect of what it is that you're looking for. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that you should be the person who says they need to do this and do this and do this and look like this and that and like check all of these imaginary boxes. However, I think it is also okay to say, you know, I have these interests, these goals, these aspirations in life. I feel strongly that I want a partner who will be also involved in those things or also cares about those things, has similar aspirations, and that we can work towards a collective future together. We can tie our lives together in a meaningful way. We can operate as a team, as a unit, and that our goals for ourselves as individual human beings complement one another enough that we can live harmoniously as adults for like the foreseeable future. Making this decision that I like this person, I want to marry this person, or they're my number one choice for potentially getting married to because they make me feel good and they make my ego go through the roof, in my opinion, is a very short-sighted choice. Because what happens then if we have a disagreement or that person feels differently then? It is like just kind of the other side of the coin of superficiality of like choosing a partner based on their looks. We're not really doing a lot of soul searching or deep digging here. I'm hopeful that the show just cut this in a way that made it seem shitty. And it very well could also be the thing that men tend to struggle with emotional intimacy and showcasing vulnerability in front of other men. And so I'm hopeful that maybe that's not what it is, and he's just like putting on this really weird toxic masculinity cosplay for all of the other dudes, because men are fundamentally, not all men, but this man, most men are fundamentally handicapped at emotional vulnerability because the patriarchy sucks. So maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But if you find yourself in this place where you're making decisions about relationships based solely on whether they inflate your ego and like whether they make you feel good, I would encourage you to do some deeper reflection to create like a more in-depth and like well thought out bond.
I think I'm a huge tool, absolutely, 100%, and I own that. That's fine, I get it. At the same time, I have a really kind heart, and I really am passionate about just life and who I am, and I feel like there's a lot more to me that, you know, meets the eye. And I hope all the girls can see that too.
It's really hard for me to really understand why a girl like me doesn't have a boyfriend or a hookup or even someone I'm talking to. Scale of 1 to 10, I'm a catch. I like Nick a lot.
Okay, so I think this is another interesting moment for us to dissect. I want to be clear. I'm not seeking to diagnose anybody. I'm not speaking with any level of certainty because this is a highly edited Netflix show that clearly the interviews have been cut in a particular way to cast people in these roles and to give off a certain vibe, right? So I don't actually know this person. I don't know anything about her. But these types of statements can sometimes be an indicator that there is a certain level of insecurity, especially this statement of like, a person like me, it's hard for me to understand why I don't have a boyfriend or a hookup. To me, reads as like, I don't understand why people don't like me, or like I'm hurt by the idea that people don't want me. She seems to be really forthcoming with this statement about like, I have lots of friends, I have a big following on Instagram, I have lots of relationships. To me, it reads as like insecurity sort of leaking out of her mouth. And if you are finding yourself in a place like this, again, I really want to encourage people to go to therapy and to unpack what you're feeling and what you're noticing coming up for you, because these insecurities can sometimes cause us to create defenses and fears of intimacy and vulnerability and being honest and vulnerable with people. And that can be a hindrance when we're trying to develop, you know, a relationship and a sense of security and trust with a person. So again, I think this whole episode is really just like a PSA for like why therapy can be a great way to improve your experience with dating and improve your comfortableness with dating altogether.
And she said that Nick told her that she's his number one, but she's also tied with another number one. Pretty sure that other number one is me. And I felt a little relieved because I don't think she's that much of a competition compared to me.
What do you mean she's not competition? He don't get to see you.
I think he knows. I think he can tell. I just started talking shit about everybody else. I probably shouldn't do that, right? It's probably wrong. I don't think I should tell you guys that I'm doing that.
Okay, yeah, so we'll unpack that later. I'm sure we're gonna revisit that issue.
And I'm coming for you. Bye, good luck. Hi.
Hey, this is Nick. Who's this?
It's Trisha.
Hey, Trisha.
Why, you guys are all so excited to talk to me. I'm not trying to sound conceited, but it sounds like all you guys are going after me. For some reason, I don't really do online apps.
How come?
I'm like going on dates with these people that like I don't like know at all. I don't want to like waste my time and my calories. My time and my calories. Wow. As selfish as that is. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Because I guess we're not revisiting it. This thing that she keeps doing, this sort of constant preening. If you notice, she's like putting lip gloss on a lot and like doing a lot of this, constantly talking about the Instagram followers. These are things that, like, as a therapist, if I had a client doing these things in the room when I was, you know, in session with them, I would notice as like potential indicators that a person is uncomfortable or insecure. Again, I want to be clear. I'm not speaking for anybody because I don't know Trisha, but I do think it's fair to say that there are some potential warning signs of insecurity there. And again, I just really want to be clear. If you're finding yourself in this place of scarcity, in this place of fear, in relationships, and you notice yourself feeling this way, or alternatively, if you find yourself on dates with people like this who constantly feel the need to tell you about how accomplished they are, how many friends they have, how successful they are, how hot they are, how confident they are, that can very much be a warning sign that this person is maybe not quite the things that they say that they are. And oftentimes leaning on these external factors for validation and trying to sort of convince the other people around you that these external factors make you worthwhile or a good person or interesting or valuable is an interesting insight into the things that are happening for them. My question normally is, why do you feel the need to speak about this so much, or why do you feel the need to share that with me? Because if you're truly comfortable with that and it's not a big deal to you, then it wouldn't be something you feel the need to bring up in every conversation. So when we talk about finding healthy partners and things like that, if that's not something that you are willing to work through with someone, or something that you don't find attractive in a partner, maybe that's useful to keep your eyes and ears open for.
Oh, exactly. The number one most important thing is making sure that it's someone you want to spend, every waking second with.
Right.
Because, I've been in relationships where I'm like, this is my best friend, and I've been in relationships where I'm like, I wouldn't be best friends with this person, and that's why I don't feel as passionately about them as I would someone else, because, it just doesn't click that way.
Right. That's exactly it. Oh my God. I just want to be by you.
I know. I'm a very touchy-feely person. It's hard for me right now not to be touching when I'm talking to you. I find myself petting the couch instead.
Okay, I think this is cute. Again, this is what I'm saying, where I just am kind of a sucker for love. This is why I got so sucked into Married at First Sight, because I just think it's cute. And I like seeing people fall in love and when they're happy. I'm hopeful that this will continue to be healthy. It seems like right now they have a comfortable, and I would say somewhat appropriate level of emotional intimacy. Again, I want to highlight that this show is really not a safe or ideal way for relationships to be formed. When we're speed running this process of developing emotional intimacy, we can run into a lot of problems later. And I think there is probably a lot of questions that have yet to be answered about the long-term impact of things like this and how safe or useful this is over time. So just keep that in mind. But as far as this show goes, I don't think this is the most unhealthy interaction that we've seen.
Yesterday was just more fun and casual, but today I'm gonna get deep.
Yeah, let's get into it.
You want to get into it?
I know you do.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get deep inside of your thoughts right now.
That sounds very intriguing.
I'm
okay.
intense.
Oh my God, I love it.
What are you wearing over there right now? Give me your outfit details.
Okay, so I'm actually wearing heels. I'm wearing these cute jogger slacks with a crop top. I'm a very sexual person, so
yes.
I would ideally every day.
Well, 5 times a day at least.
Okay. Oh my God, that was my answer before.
To who?
No, when he was asking me.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness.
Honey, no, he was asking me you know what I'm saying, how many, I'm honestly as mom.
I'm if you can handle it, that, let's go all day.
You're hilarious.
I guess this is a good opportunity for us to talk about the heterosexual double bind and how men and women, or people who are socialized as men and women, perceive intimacy in different ways. Because we started this conversation by saying, let's go deep, let's get into it. Yesterday was fun and breezy, but let's really talk about some serious stuff. And then immediately we devolve into a conversation about sex, frequency of sex, type of sex, and specific details about sexual encounters. None of these things are reflective of a deep level of emotional intimacy. Don't get me wrong, there is a certain level of emotional intimacy that is required for most people to feel comfortable with engaging in sexual intimacy. But when we talk about building a long-term relationship, I think it's fair to say that having a deeper understanding of your partner, a deep understanding of their inner world, what matters to them, again, their likes, dislikes, needs, wants, non-negotiables in a relationship. These are all very important conversations for us to be having. These are all conversations that can be useful to have in a situation like the pods, where you're not face to face with someone and they can't see you crying, for example, or they can't see you making embarrassing facial expressions. And so it's a good time to air out things that maybe you would feel uncomfortable having to have that conversation when you're making eye contact. But instead, we had a conversation about sex. I don't know, maybe they're going to get into it right now. But again, I think this is just a good opportunity to highlight how oftentimes for people who are men or socialized as men, there's kind of this confusion of intimacy and vulnerability being related to sex. We've talked about this before. I'll link the video in which we talked about it. But it's an interesting cultural phenomenon that seems to prevent some people in heterosexual relationships from developing that deep level of intimacy with one another because our wants and needs are fundamentally at odds.
Now where it's like dating two people and like I'm getting serious feelings. With Shayna, it's flirty fun, like sexiness. It is a roller coaster of emotions. With Natalie, it feels like it's way more emotionally stimulating. I'm looking for someone else that's gonna challenge me and make me a better person as well. I see it in my brother and his fiance. And I want that euphoria you get from providing for someone, you know, and just having someone by your side, you know, and that is like so important to me, and I can't wait to have that.
That's so nice to hear. I'm glad you said that. I'm right there with you. Your honesty gives me affirmation that this is a true and good connection. Oh my gosh, I'm like stumbling over my words.
It's fine.
Like, this is what I'm saying, where this is like an appropriate sort of use of emotional intimacy and emotional vulnerability, where we're talking about something that was difficult for him to go through. I also want to acknowledge too that, again, this experiment, I think, manipulates people and like emotionally, it's like a very emotionally volatile situation to be in because you're isolated, everyone else is doing it, and so you want to do it. And so it kind of like, if you were ever a Christian person and you went to like the weird Christian camp thing where you did the all lights off with the candles and everyone shares emotionally traumatizing things and then everyone fucking cries at the end of the night. This kind of reminds me of that a little bit, where like we put people in a room and it's this group thing situation. And we hype each other up to share more and more emotionally traumatizing things, which can actually be very damaging. So I want to honor that at the same time as something that's unhealthy and something that we should not be encouraging. But also, just for the sake of dissecting these conversations, sort of highlight how we can sometimes miss the mark in terms of actually getting deep into the stuff and talking about emotional intimacy. And I think Shane missed it earlier. Is it Shane? I think this is Shane. Shane missed it earlier, but then sort of seemed to double back around with Natalie and kind of get it right the second time. Just real quick, if it does look like there's been a change or something happened or we're filming later, it's because we filmed the initial part of this during my lunch break at work, and now it's after work, so.
There's a heart with your name right in the middle of my notebook. Like I autographed it like number 1.
I love talking to you. I mean, you already know that.
Yeah.
I think it's like times like these where I feel like, was this fate, if that makes sense?
This is the start of everything, yeah.
I feel like this is it.
So cute.
He like put my name on his notebook, like on the front page. And I've been telling guys just like, oh, it's gonna be Natalie.
Wait, what's his last name?
Great. Oh, I don't know.
Everyone's dating everybody, but right now I need Shane to tell me what he wants.
Are you sold on one person here? Like one woman already?
I will be honest with you. I just want to keep talking to you, and like I want to keep getting to know you more.
I'm processing it, by the way, if I'm quiet.
This whole process, I believe, is like, why not just see it out?
Ew.
Anyways. What are you wearing over there?
I'm in this like cute little like matching set, like high-waisted shorts with like this crop top, and then I have like this big flannel over it.
Oh. That's so sexy.
Can I wear your flannel?
Oh, yeah.
I am so sorry. I just don't understand straight people. I don't get it. Like, is this arousing to you?
No.
Maybe it's not a straight people thing then.
Same here. I dated someone a while back, like 5 years ago, and she kind of like would tell me that my empathy was a weakness.
That's, I mean, I think that's a toxic trait for her to think that.
Oh, totally.
Because I love like empathetic people.
Me too.
Yeah.
And I can relate to them in a way that I can't relate to most people. I'm guessing it's probably the same for you.
No, exactly, yeah. I like have so many different groups of friends, and I think that it's part of the reason is because of that.
I feel really bad for shitting on the show so much, but like, to me, that's the equivalent of saying I like people who are nice to me. Yeah, of course you fucking do. Like, of course that's a bonding moment for people, you know? I don't know. And again, also this competitive energy of her wanting to be liked by this person, so she shit on his past partner for something that he kind of indicated or implied that he didn't like. that's like a pretty easy, hole in one for like, now you like me more than you liked your past partner. That's what I mean about this environment sort of whipping people up into this emotional state that maybe they wouldn't be in before. And I guess in some ways that has its perks because it allows people to be more vulnerable. But in some ways I think it's potentially unsafe, because again, there's a reason that relationships tend to be more successful when we approach them with a more sensible attitude, I guess.
Every time I talk to Shane, I feel just so confident and so overwhelmingly happy. Like my gut is just saying, I'm going to spend the rest of my life with him. I truly feel like he's the one.
Hello?
Hi.
Who am I talking to?
I don't know, take a guess.
No, Shayna, there we go.
What?
Oh, that's what I was hoping for. What are you wearing over there? Hello? Hello? Shayna, stop.
It's Natalie.
Of course. I'm sorry. Are you okay?
No.
Are you good?
No.
Like, do you think I'm a dick or what?
I mean...
Listen, if you think I'm a dick, I feel like that's kind of weird, no offense, but... Nelly, you're talking to other people too, right? Are you not? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh.
I'm just thinking.
Why?
I just feel like a little bit led on.
For real?
Yeah, kind of.
How so?
If you want to explore another connection, then don't talk about what we're gonna do in Chicago and all this stuff. Don't say that.
Okay, so I'm gonna be honest with you then, okay? Because I'm trying to give everyone an open mind, going into our conversations. I don't ever want to make you feel bad, but I'm here to try to find my wife, and it's I'm giving everything I have to it, and I'm a very passionate person. I have to talk to other people.
I was just hurt because I've been very clear that I have strong feelings for you, and clearly you had feelings for her, and that's fine. But don't lead me on and just be really honest in terms of.
I'm not trying to lead you on whatsoever.
This is what manipulation looks like in real time. I hate this person. I don't hate him. I very much disagree with his behavior, but I'm happy that I'm not happy that this happened to Natalie, but I'm happy that this is being shown on TV, I guess, because this is a great example of what it looks like when someone realizes that they've done something wrong and they're trying to backpedal their way out of this situation. Notice how she was upset, her feelings were hurt, but she didn't say anything. It was clear, that she was not happy, but immediately he jumped into, are you mad at me? You think I'm a dick or what? And he told her, if you're mad at me, I think that's kind of weird. No offense. All of these are an attempt to both undermine her feelings and to make her feelings seem invalid, and to also manipulate her into making him feel better. So this is a very common thing that happens in relationships, typically perpetuated or perpetrated by men or people who are socialized as men, that sometimes is unconscious, sometimes they don't do it on purpose, but it's a common behavior that is manipulative at the core, where it's like the pity party thing, where you say, this behavior hurt my feelings and I didn't like it, and the response is, oh, you're right, I'm a terrible person. I'm the worst boyfriend, I'm the worst husband, I'm the worst partner, I am such an awful human being, you shouldn't even talk to me anymore. Oh, you think I'm such a dick. The intent there usually is to pull something out of you where you say, well, no, I don't think you're a dick, but, blah, 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 and to try and kind of soothe and smooth your feelings about the thing. That's not okay. If someone does this to you, it's okay to draw a very firm boundary around, I'm not here to make you feel better. I have my feelings hurt right now, and I really want space and time to talk about how I feel. Please don't make this about you, because I am allowed to feel how I feel and to ask for you to hold space for that. This process of him immediately trying to gaslight her into thinking that she is being dramatic, or, you know, oh, I think that's a little bit weird if you're offended. No, it's not. It's not weird. And also, even if it were weird, she does still feel that way. That is still the fact of the matter. She feels the way that she feels, and your opportunity then, as a person who claims to want to be a partner to her, is to learn how to show up for her and to support her in that moment, and to learn how to validate the emotions even if they're inconvenient for you. This is a great example of what it looks like when someone views relationships from a me perspective, from a self-serving perspective. I think in this example, his behavior indicates that he might be viewing her in a way that she serves a purpose to inflate his ego, to make him feel better, to fill a role in his life, but he doesn't value her for her or as a person necessarily, which is like problematic and just bad. But as soon as that behavior became clearly labeled as like an issue, or she indicated that she wasn't okay with that, the gaslighting started. This is bad. I hope she gets the fuck out of there, because she doesn't fucking need this in her life. But let's see what happens.
You're on the cover of my book with a heart on it, for Christ's sake. Like, you're my number one. I want you to know that. I'm here for the right reasons. And honestly,
I'm not doubting that you're here for the right reasons, but don't like feed me bullshit.
Okay, this is the other thing. See how instead of saying, I see why my behavior hurt your feelings, we just said, your name is on my notebook. You're my number one. I don't want to take accountability for my actions and how that hurt you. I just want to deflect and try and make this situation go away. That's what I read from that behavior. This is like a pretty clear issue with taking accountability for the hurt that's been caused, and in my opinion is not a great indicator for what potential conflict resolution will look like in the future.
I'm looking for someone else that's going to challenge me and make me a better person as well.
We learn in relationships when we do them slowly over time in the more typical dating type of way, because this has like bad vibes written all over it. The other thing that I wanted to point out too is that she was very calm and measured in all of the things that she said. She didn't accuse, she didn't point fingers, she didn't label him in any way up until the very last second where she said, don't feed me bullshit. But she basically just voiced, it hurts my feelings. I feel led on. I feel hurt that you blah, blah, blah. And he reacted to that very poorly, which again is an indicator that we are going to have issues with conflict resolution. This is something that I encourage people to be mindful of a lot when I am helping clients work through communication issues, because sometimes we can practice all of the healthy communication skills and come to a conversation with the best intent, the kindest of affect and facial expressions and body language, and use all of the tools, and someone will still react poorly and behave in a problematic way. But that shit's not on you. You can only control your stuff that's on your side of the street. And if someone is really committed to their bullshit and being problematic, it's okay to walk away from that conversation and to say, I think it's clear that this conversation is not going to be productive or safe. It doesn't feel safe for me right now. And so I'm choosing to disengage until we're in a place where we can have a more productive dialogue, because she did everything right and he still reacted poorly.
This is not fair. It's not fair at all. Okay?
Can I just finish?
I'm put in this position. It's like, this is not normal what we're going through. Why am I getting beat up about? It's like you this is the whole experience.
And I don't want to make you feel like you're being beat up. I'm not trying to come after you at all. I'm just trying to understand truly. I don't want you to be mad or frustrated about this.
He's throwing a tantrum.
He's throwing a tantrum.
This is a grown man. He looks like a child.
But also, clearly someone who doesn't understand the power that he's wielding in the room, because she immediately started to do the fawning thing. I don't want you to be mad or frustrated. Please don't get upset at me. Please don't be angry at me. I'm just trying to understand. To me, that reads as fear, because this person is starting to get angry. He's gaslighting her and saying, this isn't fair. This isn't normal. It is fair, and this is normal. This is a very normal reaction to someone behaving like a dick, and him doing all of this to her and throwing stuff on the ground. Again, to me, this is the thing that not only is our future conflict resolution probably not going to go well, but I also don't trust that this person would participate in these dialogues in an emotionally stable and a safe way that feels safe to other people. I don't want to label him as an unsafe person, but especially women and femme presenting people, when somebody gets violent like that, or they throw stuff and they start to get all herky-jerky, it's scary. It feels like, oh no, is something bad? Is this like a threat of physical violence? And so like this is all fucking bad. This is all bad.
Very frustrated because I don't know how much more reassurance I can give you.
What I'm trying to figure out is if you think this is going anywhere.
If this little hiccup is like that big of a deal and like that changes everything, then like maybe this is not what we thought it was, I guess. So I'm almost done with this whole situation right now. I'm gonna leave. It's not worth it for me being here anymore.
This is what happens when somebody who cannot successfully manipulate you realizes that there's nothing more to be gained from the situation. I'm out of here. Either I'm going to try and force my way through the situation or I'm going to leave. And he chose to leave. This is such a great, like, literal in vivo example of what it looks like when somebody tries to manipulate someone and to gaslight someone into believing the things that they believe. This is so problematic, and I don't want to discount how painful or shitty this must have felt for Natalie, but I am so happy that she hopefully doesn't end up in a relationship with him, because I think she deserves so much better than that. I think everybody deserves so much fucking better than that. No one deserves to be talked to in this way, and if your partner treats you this way or uses this type of language to invalidate your emotions and to make you feel like your reaction to things is dramatic or wrong or inappropriate, I really want to encourage you, even if it's not a safe option for you to voice that to your partner, to at least validate that within yourself, that your feelings are always valid. You are always allowed to feel how you feel, and no one should be trying to undermine that or to make you feel wrong or bad about your reaction to things. Don't get me wrong, it's not an excuse to behave however you want to behave. You don't get carte blanche to fly off the handle and like do what the fuck ever based on how you feel. But it is okay to have an emotional reaction to things, even if the people around you don't think that it's like proportional or appropriate or whatever. Because feelings are a fundamental human right, and this is fucked up. Yep. This is not cool.
I'm mad. I'm a girl. Maybe he'll slam the door?
A little bit.
Happened.
Honestly, I don't even want to be here anymore.
Natalie, are you okay?
No, not at all.
Okay, it's fine, it's fine.
Look at her, smiling like the cat that got the cream. Ooh.
I'm bouncing.
Nasty.
No.
What a baby.
Boom. Boom.
He's a baby.
Is that the end of the episode?
I don't know. Okay, so I think there's a lot to unpack here. I know this episode is probably going to be pretty long, so I'm going to try and keep this short and sweet. We've talked about a lot of the concerns that I have about dating shows generally in the previous Love is Blind episodes, which I will put in a playlist up here for you guys. But generally, I just have ethical and clinical concerns about what this type of environment does to people and how easily suggestible people are when given the correct environment and the right stimuli. People's emotions especially are relatively easy to influence if you know how to manipulate people effectively, and I don't doubt that the people who are producing and making the show are aware of that in some capacity. The fact of the matter is that if no one fell in love and moved along to the engagement and marriage part of this TV show, that they wouldn't have a fucking TV show. So they have a vested interest in people liking each other, you know? And the odds are fairly low that they're able to just match people in this like matchmaking process. So I just feel some type of way about the manipulation that's happening on the behalf of the producers here. Generally, I think there's a lot of interesting interpersonal and communication stuff for us to continue to dissect. I'm very interested to see if Shane actually does leave. And I am very hopeful that nobody gets matched with him and that he goes to therapy and lives happily ever after having done some meaningful work on himself and his emotional maturity, because we all need it, really, you know, no shame in that. But I really don't think that that behavior is appropriate or safe and something that we should be, you know, just like writing off as, you know, like a one-off. So yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this. If you did and you want to see more of this, let me know in the not in the description. You can't write in the description. Let me know in the comments what your guys' thoughts are, especially concerning the upload schedule. Do you guys want me to be talking about this on a regular basis? What are our thoughts and feelings about that? But also like the video while you're down there, because it helps the video and it helps with the engagement, and share the video. Oh, also subscribe to the channel. I don't know what this fucking outro is. This is a goddamn mess. Like the video if you like the video, subscribe to the channel to see more content like this, and share the video to help the channel grow and to help each other grow, and I will see you guys next Saturday. Okay, bye.
Boing. Boing.